क्या बोलूँ मैं उसको?
Try joining. Jin has sent you an invite already. If he can't drive one shot call, he'll have to start from the back though. Okay, let's go. I think we are live. I'm just gonna check the link in the meantime. So just go on board with someone and let me know who you're on board with.
हम्म.
And yeah, we can start. Okay, cool. I shared the link. All right. So I think we can. It's a go. Yeah.
I'm on board with Caesar.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Welcome everyone to IRL F2 China. Here we are. Not a typical F1 F2 track China when you consider it, but let's see. I'm joined by my co-commentator, my usual co-commentator. You can beat me slash Malav, and as we are on board with Caesar, he has just spun. Uh,
Yeah. Glad
so
to go on board with someone else. Maybe Gupta in a
yes,
new country now. So
yes, quite close to China, I think, because Malaysia and China are not that far apart. So let's hope a lot of people are racing. Some people in this lobby are racing from outside India. So let's hope that it isn't really, a connection issue with other people that they have. So we are on board with Racing Gupta right now. He's coming up. Oh, he just nearly lost his guys. Coming up to the end of Sector 2 right now. Breaking in. This part can be very deceptive. He misses the apex, but that's due to a lack of downforce in these cars. Goes in. Let's see how whether the car actually stumbled across. He goes and it looks very planted. This next section, this DRS zone, he activates the DRS, goes through. Now comes a very tricky braking point, Malav, because this is a good overtaking zone. Of course, this hairpin that extends now into the final sector, into the final set of corners. Really, I don't like this left-hander pretty much. I feel like it ruins the momentum of a lap, but that's just my opinion. He takes the corner, goes straight on, and he is P3. 143, 113 by Natsumi. Barely not even a tenth ahead of Nova West. But it's refreshing to see someone not named Nova on pole position. So,
yeah,
yeah.
not underscore Nova on pole, and yeah, it was a good lap from Sumer. I was briefly on board with him before cutting back to Racing Gupta, and I think throughout the entirety of Sector 2 and 3, he had the lead on Nova and finally taking pole. So that's great to see.
So, there we
Caesar
go.
down in P11, so he had a moment. So did Sid Venkatesh, who had left the session. So
I mean, we
interesting.
captured Caesar's moment on stream. So, I mean, that is pretty
Oh yeah, we
explainable
did.
what
I
happened.
completely forgot that.
Natsumi
Good
on
on him to
pole.
still complete the lap, and he
Yeah.
still finishes
So
ahead
right
of
now,
the
as it
other.
stands, Abhi and Teavscal will start P1 and P2 for the sprint race. So that should be interesting to see. Really, it's a high tire wear circuit, especially in F1 cars. So I expect the same to be repeated for F2 cars, of course. So an undercut, while good at China because of the pit time, can be a massive gamble to take. So let's see what strategies are there for the feature race. But here we are for the sprint race, and it's sunny skies in China. You like to see that because this track has a reputation, I'd say, of being quite rainy at points. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been hoping for some rain since yesterday, Jin, and it's just not coming. So I think
Yes, I've
at
I've
least
already
for
made my stance on that pretty clear. There is an alternate league. Season 2 is beginning, and if someone takes out Nova West or causes a safety car, I will give you mod role. I will make you a steward, not give you a mod role. I'll make you a co-steward.
oh, you should have said that earlier, Jin. Then I would have joined the lobby tonight.
So let's go. Formation lap on board. Abhi, Teavscal, teammates for tonight because Yash Kosalia is not here. Vicky in P3, Oxidized P4, Hershey P5, HVP P6, Nuption P7, Gupta 8th, Nova 9th, Sumi 10th, Caesar 11th, Sid 12th, Basil 13th, Manan 14th, Shadow 15th, 16th for Redstone, 17th for Abdul, 18th for QK, and Hushav, who starts P19. Unfortunately, as he joined the session late, but unfortunate, but it is what it is, and yeah.
He has joined the session and seems to be in control of a star, so I think he'll be able to do his own launch, and that's good. Oh, Hush have lost it at the exit of the third corner, and that's not a great sign.
Oh yeah, I think he may not have been able to load in a setup. I'm not 100% positive about this, but I don't know if he's been able to load in a setup or not. Meanwhile, I'm just checking up on the cricket score as well while the formation lap is going on. Let's see if Republic of South Africa have been able to complete a clean sweep or not. So yeah, this is 21 runs and 24 balls India need, and 3 wickets are in hand. So yeah, Bumrah and Chahar are batting right now. So for those of you who join IRL for F2 updates, know that we are a multi-sport stream for today. At least until this ODI gets over.
Yeah, I said Venkatesh, I think still, I think if you disconnect during the formation lap or just before the formation lap, it doesn't let you take control.
Until the race start, yes. So he'll only be able to take control once the 5 red lights go out, and then...
Alright, so I'm assuming he will lose a few positions off the start.
He definitely will. And notice this, Malav, even though the top 2 are in the same team and the Vicky is in a different team, all 3 of them are Red Bull liveries. So yeah, Manan has been disqualified from session, unfortunate. So yeah, we are now lining up. Manan was already there because he had DSQ from session.
Yeah, DSQ from the formation lap more like, but yeah, it's so confusing to see 3 Red Bull liveries.
I mean, next year we have, I think this year in real life F2 we'll have 5 Red Bull livery cars. So.
Oh my god, yeah, that's insane.
But that's one thing I like about F2, you know, that teams don't have to run the same livery even if they are on the same team. So that it kind of makes it interesting. It makes it a visual spectacle for sure. Unlike F1 where it's a mandated rule by the FIA where you have to run the same livery. And so everyone's loading into the session. Gupta's the last one left to load in. I'm still waiting on him. It still is waiting on him. I hope it's not a glitch where he has to leave the session now. Okay, he does load in. We're on board with Abhi for the start. Sid gets a drive-through penalty for jump starting, and here we go. Abhi has gotten a good start. Vicky gets a good start as well. Teeves meanwhile is behind Vicky, but Vicky should cover the line. So well done by Vicky. Nova has jumped up from P9 to P5 already. He goes on the inside of Oxidized Rage and he gets the move done as well. So brilliant start there by Nova West. Oh, Oxidized had a moment there. And now Nova is capturing on. In the space of 3 corners, Nova has jumped up from P9 to P3.
Oxidized Rage had a moment. He has fun, I think, losing multiple positions. Hushraf has gained 6 positions off the start.
Oh, Caesar just spun. Caesar just spun.
Oh, Caesar spun, yeah.
And Sid, who has a drive-through penalty, will have to serve it within 3 laps. Keep that in mind. But there's no mandatory pit stop for this. Oxidized gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Vicky literally pushing Abhi right now, as you can see. Oh, Vicky goes wide. No, he doesn't. I thought he went wide right there. I was not sure what happened. But
that was a little bit of a glitch, I think.
Yeah. Nova West, meanwhile, behind Vicky right now. And Nova is in prime position to win this race again because of a good start that he got. Meanwhile, Racing Gupta has gotten past Steve's Cal. Steves takes the inside line. Natsumi gets past Steve's Cal as well. And Nabshan is now going all the way around the outside of Steve's Cal. Has he made the move stick? And the answer is yes, he has. So now, with Slipstream alone, keep in mind that it will... He's side by side. Nova is side by side with Vicky.
Can he get Abhi as well? Is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he is. It will be a double overtake for Noah if he can pick his braking zone. I think he's gone too deep.
No, but he makes it stick. He made it stick. So Nova is now in P1. Within the space of 1 lap, this man has climbed up 8 positions.
Delete Noah right now from F2. Just delete him. Just give him a season ban or something.
I feel like we should give him a handicap that from now on he can only drive on default setups. At least then the gap
He is
between
driving on default. He's driving on a preset tonight. Not exactly. Oh,
Shadow has
Shadowson is
retired
retired.
from session. Hershey is in the
Still in the
pits, so is
pits.
Oxidized. Is that a... Is it a... Did he retire in the pits? Or did he... Yeah, I think he retired
Shadow
in
has
the...
retired in the pits, I think. And Caesar has gotten past one and now. So Caesar still with a net loss of one position, and HEP is losing, or rather gaining a position on Team
Even
Scal.
Hushrav is gaining on Team Scal now, and I think Hushrav has gotten the move done. Yes, he absolutely has. So yeah, I mean, you lose one fast driver in Univirtuously. In oh, Hushrav has spun. Hushrav has
Oh,
spun. As soon as
Gustav.
I said that, crashed into the wall right there. I think there's a broken front wing for Hushrav. No, it's not. He's managed to keep the car damage free, and Sid has left the session again. I'm not sure what's going on. But as it stands right now, Nova is still leading. Meanwhile, Gupta has gotten past Sumi, but Sumi comes back at him. Tries to go round the outside. Not possible. I don't think this move is... Oh, look at the traction Natsumi has got on Racing Gupta. Meanwhile,
And
Navshan...
Nushan might benefit from this.
Navshan versus Gupta. Teammate versus teammate right now. I don't think he doesn't have any slipstream whatsoever. So Gupta is
And
inching
Sumer is
slowly.
making a move on on Vicky rather. He's going to go for it. I think he's already passed.
Let's see this
He
though.
goes in deep.
Vicky
He
gets
goes
the...
in deep.
Sumi meanwhile gets a good run off that last into the last corner. This will be very very close. Vicky has to run wide as a result of it. So Sumi
There
is
comes
still
Gupta.
behind.
Hooked on both of them.
Sid has been disqualified from session in the meanwhile. From Gupta's POV, let's see this. Vicky is on the inside of this and Natsumi is being squeezed wide as a result. This is brilliant. This is good defending from Vicky. Sumi should try to dive down the inside. Does he have the line though? And the answer is yes, he absolutely does. So he has gotten past Vicky right there. But Vicky coming back at Natsumi again. This is some good racing right now. Look at that. Vicky will dive down the inside for this. As long as he doesn't outbreak himself, he should keep the position. And
Caesar retired.
Caesar has retired as well. But meanwhile, I'm on board with this battle again. Natsumi on the inside again. Vicky, look at the run Vicky's trying to get through. He's trying to go on the inside again. Vicky still has the inside. Not... Oh! Gupta's run into the back of Vicky. Natsumi now with the inside line. And oh! Oh!
That was so
Yeah.
good until it was so bad. Racing Gupta in the back of Sumer, and Sumer is round. But
Oh,
Racing
Gupta is
Gupta, oh
round
my
now as
god,
well.
no.
This is some ferocious racing going on, and I think it was Gupta's own teammate Navshan who had contact with him right there. So it should be interesting to see if he
And
blames
Vicky has
his own.
spun.
And
Vicky
has
does what he does best, and he has spun at the exit of that very tricky corner. And what has happened to Nova, I wonder, because it says the interval is
yeah, I think it's a glitch. I
0.067,
think that is
but
glitched,
it's a
but
glitch.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a big glitch. And Navshan is trying
trying
to
to
make
make a
his way
move on
past
the.
that.
Let's see, he tries to go down the inside for sure on Abhi right now, and he makes it happen. Abhi had a compromised exit right there. With the power of DRS, he should pull through, and HVP should get the move done on Abhi as well. Abhi does not have DRS for this first straight. HVP meanwhile, oh now it's okay. Now it's 8.2 seconds the gap. So yeah, safety car anyone?
Oh, there you go again, Jin.
I
But
will
yeah, what
never.
a battle that was between Sumer and Vicky. I think just like me, you were also on board with Racing Gupta the whole time.
I was. It was indeed
behind
the
them.
best seat in the house to
Yeah,
watch that.
and they were
And
side by
Gupta
side.
gets past
Abhi,
Abhi as well. So now Gupta will chase down HVP, who I think has a 3-second penalty of this. I'm not 100% positive. But HVP will come back at Navshan with DRS. So let's see if Navshan actually slows down before the detection point so that he can get the DRS on Abhi instead, on HVP instead. I would do that. I would slow down. But Navshan is still carrying on as it stands right now. So HVP should get the move done with DRS. Activation point coming up just now in the next corner. And yes.
So Teves, something has happened to Teves, and he's losing position after position there.
I think he might have a compromised exit. So now Navshan. Oh, Navshan, look at this. Look at this. This is what we needed to see. The master class by Navshan.
The Minister of Defense is in the house, but HPP is having none of it. Goes right down the inside and
And he makes it to the corner. Now Navshan should get DRS as the activation point is coming up for the next corner. Meanwhile, Nova has pulled up a 9.5 second lead.
Noah has checked out. HPP gets a good exit off the final corner. He might just be able to hold on to P2, and if they can stretch his legs in
Yes, but
sector 2.
it's. I mean, Gupta will probably be hoping that Navshan and HVP can fight this a little more longer. So, because the longer they fight, the more chance it gives Gupta to catch up to him. Unfortunately, he won't make up time in the DRS zone, as Navshan will just keep pulling away in that zone.
And Sumer is making moves as well. Look at him climbing up spaces. He's got him past Manan and Abi, and now he's
Behind
right on the
Basil.
tail of Basil. So let's see if he can go down the inside.
No, he
does not
won't.
consider that traffic.
Oh, but Basil goes
Basil
deep.
has gone
Basil goes deep.
Yeah.
And now
On the
Navshan is
traction.
essentially side by, and now Natsumi is now essentially side by side. He was side by side for a moment there. Now it's not a flat out corner this one. So now again Sumi has to back off.
So
Basil.
Vicky has spun again in other news.
Yes. In other news, water is wet and Vicky has spun. Uh, Meanwhile, Basil goes off track there, so definitely struggling with figuring out his braking point. Will he hit the apex? Both of them do make it clean, and Basil just looked like he had a moment right there. And this should give Sumi everything he needs in order to in order to pass Basil right now. The gap is not that big between both of them. It's 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths, less than 1.5 tenths. And yes, now DRS, with the power of DRS alone, Natsumi should make this move stick. Which he absolutely does. He's already ahead of him. Here comes the braking zone. Basil meanwhile tries to go, but he's not close enough. He tries to switch back, not close enough for that as well.
The kind of pace Sumer is showing, I think he can still salvage a P2 from here.
Yes, I think HCP, I shall just check what penalty HCP exactly has. That
Yeah,
should
it's
give
a
us
3 second
It's a
HPP for
3 second,
corner
yeah, for
cutting.
corner cutting. So, and Navshan is now dropping back. So the battle is between. It depends on how fast Natsumi can get past Gupta. Meanwhile, we are at the halfway mark. It's lap 6 of lap 12 of the sprint race. And yeah, here's a question: do you think Nova will win by less than 12 seconds?
Oh, Sumer spun!
Oh,
I'm sorry to cut you off there.
Natsumi has
Sumer
spun.
Yeah, and there goes his P2. The podium itself, I'm not sure if he has damage.
I don't think he does. It doesn't look like he does.
Yeah, probably not, but
Manan,
out of
meanwhile,
nowhere, I don't think he was
Hushram,
battling anyone. He
meanwhile,
was spun by
I think he
himself.
might have just braked a little too late, and with ABS off, it's a tendency if the brakes lock up, you do spin. So Hushraf, meanwhile, showing just the amount of pace that he has. He's now exactly behind Manan, 6 tenths behind him to be precise. But Manan will have DRS as well, so this is a move that is going to be very, very tricky for Hushraf to make. Meanwhile, Gupta 1.1 seconds behind, so no DRS for him on this lap. I am on board with Hushraf for the moment, and now Natsumi is behind Hushraf as well, so he's 10th. Oh, Manan has fallen outside DRS zone. Did he cross the activation point? We shall get to know. I'm on board with Hushraf. Yes, so he doesn't have DRS, and
Manan outbreaks himself and has
Hushraf
not
gets
done his
past.
tires any favors, and Hushraf up into P8.
Meanwhile, Gupta has
You had a
entered
question,
the.
Jim, about Nova.
Yes, I was just gonna say that is Nova gonna win by less than 12 seconds, somewhere around the 12-second mark,
No,
or more than 12
absolutely
seconds?
not. I think the gap will be something like, I don't know. Although HEP is not really allowing him to extend that gap, but I thought the gap will be around 15 or something, honestly.
And
But
now,
I think HEP now he's in clean air. I think he will get his P2 either ways. And the battle to keep an eye out in is Gupta versus Navshan.
I'm on board with Gupta right now. Teammates going at each other, and right now, I think we are gonna witness the Minister of Defense try something at the DRS straight again. Just know that in F2 there is no battery to use, so all of this has to be done with the assistance of Slipstream and DRS alone.
Yeah, so, and Gupta has not been able to really close up to Navshan.
It's the Gupta had a moment there. So that will hamper his chances. He should get DRS on Nubshan again, but
into that corner again. I don't think it's happening this lap, Jim.
it is not. It is definitely not happening. But what I want to see is, does Nubshan still pull out a slipstream-based defense right now? So I'm on board with Gupta. Let's see if Nubshan surprises us by not doing anything, or does he do something? No, he's still going straight. So Nubshan.
Yeah, I know there's no point in.
Meanwhile, Redstone Dub is on the back of Abhi.
Oh, what is Gupta doing? That was a desperate lunge. Yeah, Redstone passed Abhi. He's coming back at him.
This is a switch. Oh, Abhi has gone deep again, and Hushraf takes full advantage of this. And Hushraf gets past as well. So now Hushraf, up next for him is Redstone Dub. The gap between them is quite close. And Redstone does have a penalty as well. So if he can make grounds, he should make ground on Basil as well. Goes down the inside. Does he, Hushraf? Yes, absolutely he does. And he gets the move done here as well. So Hushraf definitely making moves right now. He started P19. So that's 13 positions gained for Hushraf already.
And this is surprising. Racing Gupta at the apex of turn 1 was behind Nubshan.
I think
he has
Nubshan
overtaken his teammate, so maybe Nubshan made a mistake there.
either made a mistake or Nubshan may have let him through. Team orders,
yeah, maybe to catch HUP. Let's see if Racing Gupta can make any inroads.
He has 4 laps. He has 5 laps technically to make this. He needs to gain 1.3 seconds on HVP. Meanwhile, Abhi has gotten past Redstone Dub, so definitely a mistake must have been made from Redstone Dub's side. Meanwhile, Hushraf is in the P5 range, because I think Basil has a 3 seconds as well. So, all the while, there's something that happened.
Oh, Racing Gupta retired. What?
Oh yeah, oh, virtual safety car.
Oh, Racing Gupta, first race from overseas,
and the only part of that applies is over, because the race is over for him now. The first one at least. So Hushraf now. Let's see.
And this brings Nubshan into the contention for P2. HCB had absolutely checked out. But now, oh my, it's a virtual safety car actually, no.
It's a virtual safety car.
Yeah, it's not, Nubshan is not really going to close up. Someone who has closed up is Sumer on Redstone once again. So Sumer is doing a firefighting kind of a job all race.
Yes, that is definite. But let's see if anyone gets a penalty under VSC. We have been witnessing this has become quite common. Yesterday as well, I think someone got a drive-through under VSC. Or Team Scal
there you go, Jill. There you go. Team Scal drive-through under the VSC once again, right when the VSC is coming in. So this is really catching out a lot of drivers.
Yes, Redstone has DRS on Abhi, but not Sumi has DRS on Redstone. And I don't think a move is possible in this set of corners at least. He's extremely close. Gupta has left the session. I don't know why.
So he's going to go for it. He's going for it, and
there's
he's
enough space.
That
is good racing right there. You want to see drivers, respect the one car with at all times rule. Unlike what happened to me in Jeddah yesterday, but that is a talk for another another time. Natsumi meanwhile is on the back of Abhi. He tries to go down he lifts off the throttle. Of course, with the lower downforce of these cars, it is not possible to take this corner flat out. So he goes on what will become the racing line, but Abhi holds his line really, really well. But he's missing apexes. So I think an overtake is probably coming in the DRS zone. What will he?
Sumer is getting really impatient. He wants to overtake Abhi in the sector 2, where it's pretty tough to do that. But yeah, on the back straight, I think it will be an easy overtake for Sumer, and let's see if he can catch Hushraf.
But Hushraf meanwhile is checking out at the same point, because look at how much time he's made up on Basil. So Hushraf has P4 in the books right now.
Yep.
I think the gap between him and Nubshan is just too much though for Hushraf to make up, even for a driver of his pace. And Redstone Dub is coming through, so Abhi is getting double overtaken here. Is he? Let's see. Oh no, Abhi makes it. Oh, Abhi has run wide again, and Abhi has a moment of the exit. So does Redstone Dub. This allows Sumer to pull off. Now, Hushraf has DRS on URL Basil. Both of them in the same cars, of course. Same team, sorry, not same cars. I mean, technically everyone is in the same car. It is a spec series at the end of the day. Hushraf, meanwhile, I think should get the move done on Basil. So this is a P4 on track for Hushraf alone. So yeah, I mean,
Redstone went past Abhi, but Abhi is going to fight back because Redstone has gone deep
yeah,
into
Abhi has
turn
gotten
2.
deep, and Abhi has to compromise his line as a result of that. This brings Manan into the equation now. So
Yeah,
Hushrav,
as it stands, Manan will finish P7 because of penalties for Redstone and Abhi both.
yeah, and I'd just like to reiterate the point that only the top 8 score points in the feature race. So as it stands right now, Manan will get 2 points, and Vicky meanwhile has got past Abdul Samad, and he's too far behind Quick Killer. So I think P11 is best where Vicky will finish. Meanwhile, let's see. Hushrav is behind Basil. They are coming up to the end of this sector now. I think Hushrav will choose to elect to stay behind at least until they cross the at least until they hit the DRS zone, and that should propel him up to P4. So what an impressive drive by Hushrav. He started P19, and he's gaining 15 positions. So he's definitely my driver of this race. And if he repeats similar heroics, he could very well be the driver of the weekend.
Absolutely, Hushrav lining up a move, and that is as easy. Are they teammates? It seems like that.
They are in the same team. They are in the same team because
They
both
are in the
the
same team. Yes.
Virtuosi boys are missing today. So we lost one fast driver in Virtuosi in VFix, but we gained another one in Hushrav. So law of equivalent exchange right there. Uh, Meanwhile, Manan is half a second behind Abhi. Remember, he doesn't need to try to do anything drastic here. He's finishing P7 either way. But not Sumi will finish P5 because he's entered the necessary space that he needs to. But if Basil can keep getting DRS on Hushrav in these 2 laps alone, he might make up the 3 seconds necessary. So let's see now. Abhi is gaining time on Redstone, but not close enough at any point. And yeah, Basil
Up
meanwhile,
ahead, Nova is
it's
stretching
12.2
his
seconds.
legs. I
So
think we might see a fastest lap from him either on this lap or the next one, maybe. At least a fastest lap attempt by Noah.
I think he already holds the fastest lap. I'm just going to check. Where did it go? Gap. Fastest lap. Yeah, Nova West does have the fastest lap. He's the only one who's lapped in the 145s for that matter. So he's half a second faster
That's the
than
fastest lap by some margin.
Yes, of course. And Nova, and if he actually is not, lying about the fact that he has a preset on, that is so impressive. Half a second faster on a preset setup. If that is actually the case. And I think, Malav, I think at this point we should try coming up with some questions for Nova because what do we even ask him at this point?
How was the clean air? I think that's what I'll ask him. But yeah, this dominance reminds me of Caesar in season 2 F1 and to some extent season 4 of F1 where he was
Yes.
just winning races left, right, and center. But I still think he was challenged more than Noah is being challenged in this
Yes.
F2 series.
Some would say that the air in China is contagious, and it is contagious for Nova because he's gotten an electric boost of pace from whatever he's breathing in the Chinese air right now. URL Basil, meanwhile, will lose the position to Natsumi. Meanwhile, Manan. Oh, I think now Redstone is pulling out. Someone has
His
gone.
yellow flag.
I
Is
think
that
that's.
Thieves? Yeah, that is
It is
Thieves.
Steve's.
Sector 2.
Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, let's look at this. Abhi is 2.3 seconds behind Manan.
So Abhi is costing time for Manan right now. Manan has to get past.
The only
Otherwise, he's going for a lunge.
Manan
And he
gets a
gets
3
a 3
second.
second in the process. This is exactly what he did not need.
Now,
He had P8 in the back.
yeah,
he
if he wants 1 point, he has to overtake Abhi on this DRS straight. If he wants the point. Look at how close they are. Look at how close Abhi and Manan are. Meanwhile, Abhi is all over the place. He's missing his braking zones. Not the smoothest of drives from Abhi, who's usually quite smooth, and not Sumi is literally pushing Basil right now, and I think this is a move that is going to happen. He takes the wider line in order to get much more top speed. Oh, but he's run so wide right there. And 145, 218. There we go. 14 and a half seconds.
I told you it will be 15 and it's just about there. It should be a good drive from him to finish in P2. Sumer
gets past Basil. Manan has got past Abhi, so that's 1 point for Manan. He's the last point scorer. Unless Quick Killer, no, Quick Killer is too far behind to make a difference to that. Really, Nubshan finishes P3. Hushraf will finish P4, and once again we forgot to cover the winner because of what was going on behind.
Yeah,
Natsumi
that's okay.
takes
No is used to
P5,
it now.
Basil P6, Redstone will finish P7, unless he had 6 seconds worth of penalties, I'm not sure about that.
No, he finished. He finished his piece.
He finishes P7, Madan gets P8, Abhi will finish P9, or does he? No, Quickler gets P9, Vicky will take
Just
P11,
about.
and Abdul Samad has gotten P12, and Vicky has left the session, I'm not so sure
I
why.
just tag him to join back again.
Hershey meanwhile is P13, Oxidized P14, and Teevskal who was a lap down. So for him, this race has come to an earlier end than Hershey and Oxidized. I shall just be back, Malav. Meanwhile, just send invites to the people who might have left the session.
Yeah, I'll do that for Wiki, and I think that's the only person who's left.
Okay, I'm back. Were you able to send invites to the drivers who left, Malav?
No, the game wouldn't allow me. So
Okay, so
yeah,
unfortunate for them. Nova West has taken, 145 218. Meanwhile, the second fastest lap after him is Sumer with a 146.017. So that's 8 tenths between two. I mean, Nova is just in a class of his own at this point. Nova, HVP, Nabshan, Hushraf. Hushraf who gained 15 positions in this race. So that is so impressive. Redstone who has gained 9 positions, and ninth was Quick Killer who started from P18. So a lot of drivers who made a lot of massive gains during this entire part of the race.
yeah, that was some good racing from Hushrav. Sumer had to charge through the field a couple of times as well,
Yes.
and Nova.
Unfortunate for Sumer that he made that mistake. Otherwise, we would have seen him challenge for P3, P2, maybe
Yeah,
P1
maybe
was P1
P2,
was out of the
but
question. So
different. Yeah, yeah, definitely out of the question, but definitely a podium position for Sumer was on the cards until he made that mistake. But still, P5 is a decent result, and he starts on the front row, on the pole, in fact, for this feature race. So
3, 2, 1. Okay, Natsumi is now P1. He's starting on soft tires. We're just gonna check the tire allocation. Everyone. There we go. Hershey oxidized on mediums. Hushraf on mediums off the end. So he plans to go long. China by its nature is a wide track, so safety cars are a bit of a rarity in China. So if you are running longer, it could work out. But Hushraf has to gain a lot of positions without any incidents, and he's lucky in one aspect of this race that he's starting at the very back. So chances for him getting involved in accidents is lesser than someone who, let's say, starts in the midfield.
yeah,
So
and we have seen Hushrav go from P19 to P4 in a space of 12 laps. So let's
so
see
he
what he
has
can do
four
in
more laps to
16.
attack this time around. So and
It almost seems like a Hamilton in Brazil, where in the sprint race he went from P20 to P5, and then in the actual Grand Prix he went from P10 to P1. Definitely one of the drives of the season for me.
yes,
Let's
of
see what
course.
Hushrav can do.
See what Hushraf can do. Um, Usually because of how this game cycle works and because F2 cars take so long to get updated, it's only possible to do really one season of F2. But I'm so glad that we can witness out of a 22 driver field, at least 19 drivers, I'd say 17, 16 have shown up every week on an average. So that is extremely heartening to see. And
Yeah, it
we,
is very exciting this series, and I think the real title is who finishes behind Nova. I think if someone can
yes,
achieve that, then
it's kind of like the Bundesliga where
yeah, it's a race for
17
P2.
17 other teams compete to see who finishes behind Bayern Munich.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Let's see, Racing Gupta. Oh, what happened to Shadow Sword? Shadow Sword is absolutely. Does he think this is the race lap? What is Shadow
Hushraf,
Sword doing?
look at Hushraf's car while on the stream right now. It is so
It's
unbelievable to
bumpy.
see. Hushraf seems like he's the glitch in the Matrix right
It's
now.
like his car is driving through potholes. Honestly, on an
I mean,
Formula One track.
Hushraf unfortunately did leave Mumbai. Otherwise, that reference would make so much more sense if he was still in Mumbai. Uh, let's see though. Natsumi will be the car on pole position for this race, so it should be interesting to see what he exactly does. Nova lap in and lap out, keeping Nova behind him will be so hard, and he needs to do this for as long as possible because if Nova gets past him in the early runnings itself, he will absolutely dominate from that point onwards.
Right, Jen, all yours for the start.
Yes. Let us go on board. We are waiting for everyone to show up. Please don't tell me that it's glitched.
No, no, it should be fine.
Yeah. No, usually when things like this happen where the player thing doesn't show up on the right hand side, I have a fear of things, especially with this game.
Uh,
Vicky has joined.
oh, this is not good news. Vicky has just joined.
We might just have to. I don't know if we need to restart the lobby or not at this point. But yeah,
I think there's a very good chance we might need to. We don't see the lights coming on, and there should be a manual, fail safe to this. That if the game doesn't start the right sequence, the lobby host should be able to something like that. Uh, Probably just daydreaming.
yeah, weather looks beautiful in China. Vicky has joined again. I think Vicky might have to leave the session and then join back in the mid part of
He
the
did
race.
leave the session, and it didn't really help. So I think we might need to restart this. Then.
Yeah, I'll just say let's wait for a minute and let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, it's because of Shadow Sword, so Shadow might have to leave.
Let's see. Uh, I I wonder why this camera, and it happens on all the tracks, is floating. It's like it's not stable, right?
I feel
It's
like
like someone,
yeah, the cameramen are not being paid enough. They've hired some amateurs and
or they're just tired and they're not able to keep the camera steady. Uh, and not being paid, yeah. Talk about not being paid. Jen. Someone like me, someone like you doing commentary week in, week out. Is this a good time to probably, riot or something and ask Caesar to give us some wages, minimum wages at least?
yes, I mean, but we are Indian, so unpaid labor is our specialty. Uh, Caesar, meanwhile, on on the group chat has started with yes, you overtaking everyone to Shadow Sword. So
Yeah, that's the sense of it.
Abdul Samad accurately pointing out on group chat that even the game is fed up with Nova winning so much. I think, yeah, I think I'll have to call for a lobby restart.
Yeah.
And Nabshan now pointing out that it may be because of no OS. So yeah, the lobby restart it is. So everyone has to quit. Rain in the end, Manan says. So uh, snow expected, Basil says, and yeah, everyone is leaving the session. I'm gonna create another new lobby, Malav, and the game is not letting me quit to main menu. If you see,
It is allowing
just
me to do that.
just watch the stream, Malav. Just watch this so that you can see this for yourself. I am now pressing quit to main menu. All right.
And
If
it's
it's
still
there on the
there.
stream, I'm pressing yes, and look where I am.
Yeah, I know it's still there. You're the camera.
Yeah, my Chinese origins have come back to haunt me.